Hello friends, welcome back. My girlfriend teases me for every time I introduce my show, I say, hello friends. She teases me because she thinks that's stupid. Well, I say hello friends for a very specific reason, because it is inclusive of everyone. I used to say hello ladies and gentlemen, and I decided to change to friends because that includes everyone. How good's that? Hello Robbie's Hobbies. This is my diorama that I have set aside for quite a while whilst I've been busy with other things. Aeon Trespass Odyssey, Kingdom Death models. So I don't remember exactly when I started the diorama, but it feels like it was quite a long time ago. So what you are looking at is the small church component of the larger diorama scene. So I did actually put together some videos. When I say put together, I didn't actually finish putting together videos. I simply filmed them, and I haven't edited them into anything good. So I may actually trim them together into one big video. But that's why we're going to turn the palette off for the moment, so I can capture some usable footage for my video. Yes, so this is the church scene. I'll no doubt be showcasing more elements as things go on, but this is the scene where the good guys find themselves defending. Yeah, so what I'm doing at the moment is just creating some interesting tones into my church background. What'd you say, Mossy? Huh. You sure? Wow, got a lot more green in there than I realised. Alright. Yeah, so I'll show off the people that actually go on this, because I think that might help contextually with what I'm doing. So hello there, Kragzog. So this is the defender of the thing. He sort of stands here. And then we've got this witch hunter type guy. He stands here. And then we have this floating priestess. She's up here. And then last of all, we have this girl who is kind of like the hero of the story. Her name's Asteria. So she sits here. So they're all sort of on different levels. Everything's still very much work in progress in terms of completion of paint jobs, but more even just, where's it's all chimera models, where everything's going to end up in the final product. We like to stay fluid. We change things up here. We don't just settle. There was a period with my last diorama with the vampires where at about 2 weeks before I was supposed to be finished, I just completely turned things upside down and moved 2 or 3 models around. So so yeah, we're not afraid to make those calls if those are the calls that need to be made. But so yeah, at this point in time, this is where we find ourselves with this as our preliminary color palette composition. Yeah, actually, you can do me a solid. Anyone that's in this chat can do a quick preliminary preview for me. We're coming out today, I think, or maybe not today, but in the next day or two. Let me share that with you. Sharing. There you go. Have a gaze at that and tell me if you think that's any good. Should be probably, well, I was pushing for today, but everyone's got stuff on in their lives, so I just started a new job. Benny and Storm, I've got some big stuff happening, so we've got a website this year too, which I have been vehemently opposed to for a long time. Wonder if it's up yet. Close. So I reckon we'll do just a little bit of this pale sand with some Japanese uniform before we do some dry brushing for the rest. Dry brushing slash painting. Bit more mixing. So what's the vibe of this church? The vibe is old, run-down, decrepit church. However, that is housing some actual holy relics. So it's like a genuine, legitimate church that needs defending. Alright. It's dry brushing time. Whew. I think we'll use this brush, which is my favourite little flat brush. It's not super small, but it's big enough to get some good coverage. Mossy, do you want the AC on? Good. I genuinely think that people don't appreciate dry brushing enough. It's a powerful tool. And when I say everyone, I'm referring mostly to display painters. Because obviously gamers and army painters do have a good appreciation of dry brushing. I wish I didn't give away that dry brush set. Who ended up getting that anyway? Someone else. Well, there's nothing wrong with the set. Artis Opus have probably jumped up my rankings in terms of favourite brushes, but yeah, I'm not going to use the dry brush set as it's intended, so give it to someone who will. So again, this big brush with the slightly splayed bristles is just like, it's hard to replicate natural variation. Hello there, Simon. Yes, it's all looking a little bit Coldplay-ish at the moment, isn't it? So I've been off this project for I shudder to think, but it feels like probably 3 months. Hello there, Anik Roach. It's certainly been longer than I anticipated, giving on this project a little bit of time. And I haven't decided if I'm back in yet. Was it pre-guilds in? Yeah, I think it was, maybe. And yeah, I was just reflecting on it a couple of days ago. I was like, wonder where my little drive has gone for that project, because I'm jazzed about painting the models. I think it has. I think it's actually. I mean, it's been a very challenging time, personally, which is pretty piss weak. G'day, Jared. Pretty piss weak for me. That's the truth. You know, starting a new job. Yeah, it was definitely the video. I remember the video was like, oh, I really wanted to cut together stuff, and then it was killing my motivation, because I was like, I don't want to film. I just want to paint toy soldiers. Yeah, a bit of Maslow's, bit of Maslow's pyramid of needs. Well, yeah, losing the job certainly came at an interesting time in the project, but yeah. But anyway, I profess and preach all the time about the value of painting what you're excited about. You know, I talk about it, and I believe that I practice what I preach. I wasn't feeling it, and so I put it aside. Doesn't mean that the project is dead. It's not. I've invested several $1,000s into the project, and I have expressions of interest in the final product from people already, which is exciting. But you've got to enjoy what you do. And Jared's off to Monty in a few weeks. Very exciting. Now that he knows what to expect, I bet you he's shitting himself more than he was last time. Yeah, it's easy to feel pretty calm when it's the unknown. But knowing what you're up against, I reckon that makes it worse. We can only hope. We can only hope. Presumptuous of him, isn't it? Alright. No, we're all proud of our Jared. I'm sure he's going to have a wonderful time. And that is the most important thing. And if you don't win something, don't come home. Because we will disown you. That would be a tough life, wouldn't it? Like as much as the event itself is something to behold, the city itself is actually just one of the most beautiful places on earth. Like it is just picturesque. I do miss it. I do miss it. And by it, I mean the event, the people, the place, the food. Oh, Taz for sure. Taz is awesome. Keep him here, Jared. You know what they say, mate? Happy life, no wife. Something like that, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not married, so not really familiar with the terminology. Alright, now the Crimson Brush event, which you'll find the rules pack a little earlier if you want to do a preview and review of the rules pack before it gets released to the wider public in a few days. We are looking for some volunteers to assist on the weekend. So one of the challenges of last year in the event, in my own internal review, was the amount of work that I placed on people that were not me, which is an unfortunate byproduct of the success of the event that I was probably not really anticipating for that particular year. I mean, we've been working towards the event, improving attendance and, picking up people. And my personal job, my experience, and my method of approaching working in life is a little bit different to other people's, and so it's probably unfair of me to expect or anticipate. Actually, it's probably not. It's not fair to say it was unfair of me. I didn't anticipate that I would need as much help as I did, so that's my mistake. But when it got to the crunch and we did need the help, I expected more of volunteers, which was not fair on me, of those volunteers. So my plan for this year is to ask some more people to assist so that everyone can have some reduced capacity to allow everyone to enjoy the weekend itself a little bit more. So I've put together a roster, put together some volunteers, tasks and jobs that don't require anything onerous. It's more just advisory tasks. You don't stand around in this area and make sure nobody does any dumb shit type of roles. And I'm trying to structure the roster so that most people that are volunteering will sort of work maybe 2 little 2-hour segments in a day, and that's it. And there'll be some recompense for those people who are offering their time and assistance in the form of handshakes and vigorous bear hugs. So yeah, that's my plan. The people, if you want to kiss on the lips, Craig Zog, I can do that, or maybe I can pay Mossy to do that. It'll be a better experience for everyone. I will not be, my weekend will not change, but hopefully the experience of those volunteers who last year were pretty cranky pants with me. No, cranky pants is maybe not fair. No one was cranky. I think we were all just overwhelmed at what was happening. I don't think any of us, was expecting the experience that we had. So yeah, I'd like to help everyone that's at the show, including my esteemed colleagues who assist, to have a more enjoyable weekend. I am happy to bear the brunt of the organisational load and the lack of breaks. That is part of what I sign up for, but I do not anticipate that anyone else needs to do the same. So as always, I'll just talk about my approach on a big scene like this, because this is, hello Bucks, hello Space Toy. This is a very big project, and to have the same level of painting across the entirety of the project is just not possible. So rather than trying to paint to that standard across the whole thing, which is just not going to have the outcome that we want, that I want, Instead, we focus on key areas to draw focus on where we want it. And so if we think about where the main people are in the scene, it is our defender of the guard who will be standing here in front of the church door. So we're going to turn this church door into a nice little area. We have this window frame up here, which has our hovering priestess. And then we'll also have a little bit more focus on these gravestones. So by keeping the focal points, the areas of additional time, detail spent, will hopefully distract people from the fact that I haven't painted 90% of this shit. Second thing we're going to do is use lots of washes. Lots and lots of washes. Might even whip out the pigments for this as well, actually. This looks like a pigment type of project. Yeah, got some green pigments actually. It'll be quite good. Hello, Mossy. Thumbs up from the moss. Hello, Chum Dabs. Hey mate, thank you for asking. The new job's going well. On week 4 now, and still sort of plugging along with induction type tasks, but we're much more into the flow of the new job. And starting to feel a little more comfortable, so that's good. What scale we at GD Vamps? I'm not sure if what GD Vamps means. If you're asking what scale this is at 75mm. If you're asking about what scale my vampire project was at, it was also 75mm. Yeah, no, I feel really positive about it, mate. I actually just feel really fortunate. I feel really blessed to have landed the role that I have. Yeah, it's really hard feeling to describe actually, because like in many ways I don't feel like I deserve the position that I've found myself in, and that's probably a little bit of, what's the right word to describe that? Humbleness is definitely not the right word, but and imposter syndrome is not something I normally associate with myself either, but you know, I've got years of experience in my field, in the role that I'm in, and I'm very good at my job. So I don't really know where that comes from, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I feel very blessed to be where I am right now. Hashtag blessed. Hello, Ed. Yeah, look, it's hard to describe, right? Because I don't really ever have any problems having tickets on myself, as I'm sure many of you would know. Um, so I'm not sure where it actually comes from, but I just feel very much like I've lucked into something that I don't deserve. So, and I worked hard at my old job, and I work hard in general. I mean, most people that have watched this stream would understand my work ethic when it comes to little toy soldiers. I'm sure you can understand that my work ethic in general is quite similar. So it's not really, it's not really a, I don't think I'm worthy or something. I don't know. I haven't really analysed it. I don't really want to analyse it. I don't really want to try and figure it out because it's a good place to be right now. So I'm just going to enjoy it. Get a dog up, yeah. Is there a miniatures and models section on Twitch? I was not aware. I should probably use that facility. One of the reasons I'm a bad streamer, one of the many reasons, is Mossy, you going to bed? Good night. You want to say good night to everyone? Show me a ponytail. You can't show them that on Twitch or I'll get banned. I just set up my channel. I set up my stream background and everything, and then I just push go. And the extent of me preparing for each stream is to change the title and the date. And even sometimes I don't remember to do that. I don't promote it. I don't do anything. I just come on and start painting. I used to do a little bit more, I guess. I used to like promote it and stuff, but I just stopped. And it comes back to some things I've said many times. Why am I here? Start with why. I just want to paint toys. I just want to enjoy my little hobby. Little ray of sunshine. Alright. Yeah, let's get a little bit crazy with some pigments, I reckon. Yeah, so pigments. Some contrast washes. Got to think about my metallic areas. I think I might go copper. I might go a coppery colour. What do you reckon? Let's take this out of the... Yep. Okay. So I've just started watching a TV show, which I will recommend with a caveat. I'm sure most people will have probably heard of it that are regular Australian viewers. Most other people probably not. There's a TV show called Wentworth. So Emma's always at me because whenever we watch TV, it's always my picks, and she generally hates my picks. So much so that she's banned me from making picks like Game of Thrones. We're not allowed to watch that. That's no good. That's not real enough. So it's her pick. She's decided it was her pick. So we put on this show called Wentworth. This has been her pick for a while. It's a show set in a women's prison in Australia. So if you want to get truthful, it's probably a precursor to Orange is the New Black. And I know a lot of people have watched Orange is the New Black. It came out before it, I believe. So we blitzed through the first season and a half over the weekend. It's quite good. Look, I've never been in a women's prison, mate, so I can't really answer that question. Maybe she can, or they can. I mean, I can convince Mossy to murder me, and she can get some first-hand experience. So you can ask her. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Lost was actually another one of the ones that we tossed up. I only watched like the first half of the first season before it lost me. Oh, oh, oh. Now, I think, so back when that first came out, television was still doing that fucking irritating thing of just doing an episode a week. I mean, who does that? That's just outrageous. And they're going back to that, which is just an absolute fucking disgrace, I might add. Well, the reason I bring it up, I'm not prepared to give it a wholehearted Big Dano tick of approval, but I am willing to say that the first season is very good television. I don't know if the rest of it maintains the standard, and take that as someone who is very critical of Australian television in general. So there's two sides of the coin, right? Because Game of Thrones, the experience that was watching Game of Thrones each week, talking to everyone about what happened, and holy shit, the excitement of viewing the next episode, it was palpable. It was absolutely unbelievable. Like, what an experience watching Game of Thrones was live. I love the panel, yeah, I love the panel. But panels, like, I mean, like drama, Australian drama, you know, it's just rubbish. Like, Australian television is a fucking joke. But there's been a few shows recently that have piqued my interest. Mr. In Between is one of them. heard it's good. And then this Wentworth. So yeah, all I'm willing to say at this point, Wentworth, very interesting. The first season, very good. Is it worth watching all of it? Well, I'm halfway through the second season, so that's as far as I'm willing to go at this point in time. What is this? I bought this. No, I'm not allowing that. Is this an enamel? It is. Okay. Don't think I want that. I think we'll try this. Bit of dirty down. Yeah. Yeah, that's my vibe I get on that show. As well. That I would like it. Yep, I've heard a lot of positive things about it. Again, probably my hesitation comes from my general dislike for Australian television. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that all happened as a result of, the Chopper Reed movie. Chopper. Neville fucking Bartos. Which was fine. quite appreciate this dirty down. Is it perfect? No. Does it come very close to replicating an oil wash? Yes. Dirty down? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. I don't dislike it. I've been, yeah, been using it a little bit. I used it quite heavily on the Neon Nights. Worked really well in that scene. Not sure that it's quite the right vibe for this, but it does also kind of run like a like an ink wash, so it's kind of okay. If only could I make a deal with God, get him to drop our faces, be running up that road, keep running up that hill, with no problem. I was just playing on the radio this morning, and all it made me think of, which I'm sure is all it makes anyone think of now, is the lovely Stranger Things, and when I'm going to watch that next. Next season is mid next year, I think it's coming out now, is their plan. Huh. So I've got a plan for the title of this track for this piece. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there's a poem called The Dance Macabre, which is actually from my Games Workshop time. It was a spell that the undead used to cast to make the undead move, but it's actually like a kind of a thing about death and some other stuff. So yeah, it's going to be called Dance Macabre, or something like that. Yeah, this so without I'll come back to that in a sec, Space Toy. Without sort of talking too much about my painting in general, it's a lot of tricks. It's just a lot of tricks, a lot of speed tricks to make things look like I've done more than I have. Like the airbrush, it's just a big old cheaty trick to help me look like I'm a much better painter than I actually am. Yeah, Space Toy, thank you, mate. So I recently was made redundant from a company I was with for 20 years, and the role I was with at was a sales and operations manager. And the company that I've moved to is very similar field, and just in sort of retail environment. And my role is a regional franchise manager. So I basically manage teams of businesses, teams of people, coaching them, trying to help them be more successful businesses. Training, supporting, and whatever else I'm sort of needed for. It's a very interesting role. Like, it changes from day to day and week to week, you know, what the role actually looks like and what you need to do. Yeah, be the best version of themselves. Ted Lasso it for sure. But I was doing Ted Lasso before Ted Lasso was even a thing, mate. So no, look, it's a very interesting job, and I don't say that because I like my job. I do like my job, but I don't say that because I'm trying to convince myself. You know, it's just a very much a changing time, job, situation. You know, no day's exactly the same, and you really have to be dynamic and problem solution focused. Yeah, redundancy wasn't the best of times. I found out about it in September of last year, if you can believe, and you know we sort of knew it was coming for a long time, and I was actually in the, well, depending on your perspective, fortunate, unfortunate position of being the one responsible for working through the closure and shutdown of the network. So I ended up staying until basically 12 months after the announcement, which was, yeah, as I said, good, but also, yeah, fuck. I spent the last 12 months telling people they didn't have a job anymore. Not the best fun. But we got through it. Verde Oscuro. Dark green. Hey, look, mate, it's good money. They're good cans. You know, you just take what you can get in this world. What I could get was working at Hooters. Yeah, well, Space Toy, change is inevitable, as we all know. And I can only speak from my own personal experience, which is that this change has been one of the best things that could have happened to me. So maybe that will be the case for you. And I hope that that is the case. My friend Whaley is trying to call me. He is. Big whale. I'm good. I'm live streaming at the moment. How are you? I will. Good man. Yeah. The great man. The great man, Aaron Whale. One of the best. Space Toy, this is your first Crimson, isn't it? So you wouldn't know the Great Whale. You'll get to know him. He hangs out with me for a bit of the time. Absolutely delightful human being. Not a painter, just a gamer. He's made friends with a lot of people that hang out with the painting thing just through me. What a gem. What a gem. um, I have had to curb my enthusiasm a little. I had some complaints. We did the Crimson Brush, or sorry, the what's that other event place? Kingdom Death streaming Bucks and I the other week, and it had a few observations that I wasn't as mean as I used to be, and they were unhappy about that. I said, "Well, that sucks," but one of the risks, challenges, places I find myself in when putting myself out there as a public figure, as a person that can be patronised. You can't please everyone. So you just have to be authentic. Authentic to you. And I definitely have become a little bit less what have I become a little bit less of? Now I've become a little bit more aware of how much positive influence I can have on people. And I would like to be a positive influence on people where possible. Not always going to succeed, but that might be a bit too green, don't I? Ooh, I know what I can do. Have some little pigments that are green as well that might fit nicely. Nice pigments. Yeah, I haven't streamed. No, I did stream. I streamed on the Monday night after the judging. I took a break off yesterday, but yeah, I think it's a good resource for anyone, not just sort of the Kingdom Death Discord family, but I think it's a good resource for anyone that just wants to get a bit of insight into judging. I feel like Bucks and I mostly replicated how we approach actually judging, but we're able to utilize that as also an opportunity to coach. Yes, it is an acquired taste, and that is okay. I also come at it from a perspective, Space Toy, that honesty is something of a forgotten virtue in this day and age. When we see social media so prevalent, which is fundamentally a lie. See you, Ed. You know, having someone who's willing to share a truthful experience, whether that is what you want to hear or not, I think there's value in that, and it's value that we don't see enough of. So sometimes people don't like hearing the truth, but the thing that is always very important to remember is it's just one person's truth, right? Bucks and I tried to stress during our judging the other week that, you know what, we're just two guys. We're just two guys telling people what we think about toy soldiers. Why are we any more important than anyone else? Well, the answer is we're not. You know, we've just been picked to judge this little competition, but our opinion is of no more value than yours or whomever's. So someone is willing to tell you their truth instead of what you want to hear, yeah, there's something that can be taken from that. So, and that is enough of my little rant for the day / evening. I may need to let this all dry and sit before I come back to it. And I didn't really prepare anything else for the stream tonight, so you can handle the truth. Not many people can. Again, another one of those fun skills I picked up in work. Sometimes you just have to tell people how it is and accept that they're not going to like you for it. And that is okay. Because for every person who doesn't take what you said in the right way, you know, you make a real positive change for someone else, and that's important. I've painted the 4 that have gone on this piece a little bit. We might just put them on actually and see how everything's looking. Wow, I haven't taken that guy off his thing for a while. Ha! There is thunder in our hearts. Nice. So this is the witch hunter. And he goes here, I think. Yep, there we go. Is that literally zoomed out? Yeah, it's zoomed out as far as I can. Cool. Alright, so he's sort of facing a little bit more this way. And then we've done this guy, who is like the cleric that defends the sacred halls, or whatever. And he goes, where does he go? Where is your hole, my guy? Are you there? I think that might be him there. Sort of changed his position a little bit. I'll explain why when I get the next one on. But yeah, I think that's it. And this chick. Ah, Deno, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you do this? Anyway, I had to glue this girl back together. But she goes in here, like this. Floating. And this girl, well, she just goes at the front. So, one of the things I'm always cognizant of with my multi-layered diorama projects, let's see if I can get you a little bit better view with the new camera. The new stand, I should say. Oh, we don't want that. Okay, so there you go. And she's sort of here. I always try to think about a few things, which is heights and depths, and then placement. So I don't want to ever have two miniatures sort of in the same plane. So each of these is sort of in a different plane, and then also in a different line. So that's sort of the thought process behind each of their positionings. And then the second thing I talk about in this type of thing is connection, right? So all of these figures need to have some sort of connection, and for them it is the connection of where they're looking. So they're all sort of facing the same direction. The witch hunter's a little bit more across like that, as they're looking down towards the scene below, which is going to be less than exciting for the good guys. So yes, all right. I'm actually going to leave it there, friends, because I can't really do anything more until this dries. So we're going to let that dry, and we're going to let our friends just hang out where they are, so that I can come past and feel inspired. Good on you, Whaley. I'll call you in a sec, buddy. Have a fantastic evening, friends, and great week. I'll catch you all soon. Big Dano.